Hello, and welcome to Why Walking Matters, the Science Explained. This week's article is from bluezones.com. What is a walking Moai and how it can improve your health, your social life, and your productivity? By Janae DeFilicis. Have you ever considered recruiting a walking buddy or a few to keep you accountable with your movement regimen? Or complete each journey with a great conversation to make it more entertaining? Introducing Walking Moais. A walking Moai trademark comprises a group of 5 to 8 individuals who agree to meet weekly for 10 weeks to walk and socialize. The Moai concept originates from the Blue Zones region of Okinawa, Japan. The term means meeting for a common purpose, which is most likely for shared hobbies or interests. Roughly half of Okinawans belong to a moai, where each member commits to supporting each other. Keep reading to discover the multitude of benefits. The health benefits of a walking moai. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, researchers evaluated the benefits of weekly walking with peers versus walking alone. The 16-week trial involved a cohort of adults aged 60 and up. According to the results, the walking with peers group improved more in motivation, functional capacity, body fat, physical activity, and walking self efficacy than the walking alone group. Thus, science approves of the walking Moai concept as a positive contributor to one's physical and behavioral health. How a walking Moai can enhance your social life. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, researchers have placed more emphasis on loneliness and its link to serious conditions like depression, dementia, heart disease, and stroke. The encroaching loneliness epidemic has forced modern day society to face the music regarding social isolation's association with several public health concerns, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) revealed. Recent studies indicated that social isolation is linked to a 50% increased risk of dementia, a 29% increased risk of heart disease, and a 32% increased risk of stroke, according to the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. Adults aged 50 and older are especially at risk since many face loneliness within this age group. Fortunately, intentional social connection has the opposite effect. The CDC recently published follow up research suggesting that connectedness can result in better health, improved well being, and a longer life expectancy. The report further indicated that those who have stronger social bonds have a 50% increased likelihood of survival than individuals with fewer connections. There is no better way to find a sense of belonging than over shared interests. Walking Moais present the perfect opportunity to connect with others and improve your social network as you enjoy its range of health benefits. According to this 2015 UK study, outdoor walking groups see reductions in blood pressure, total cholesterol, and risk of depression. In Blue Zones project communities, walking Moai trademark groups can range from colleague groups to common interest groups, all coming together to walk together and connect. I really believe in this project and its ability to bring people back together, says Blue Zones Project Yuba Sutter Executive Director Marnie Sanders. Walking Moais and how they improve productivity, mood, and creativity. People in the blue zones live active lives where they're nudged to get up and walk or move around about every 20 minutes. They walk to their neighbors' houses, through the fields, or up rocky mountain paths. They do housework and chores by hand, not automated robot vacuums. Research has validated that moving like the people in the blue zones can not only improve your physical health, but also boost your productivity, mood, and creativity. Spending 20 to 30 minutes walking outside can lower stress by 20%, and just 10 minutes can deliver serious mood boosting benefits. There's also a study out of Stanford University that suggests walking can increase creative thinking. Participants were able to produce 50% more ideas while walking versus while sitting. Another reason to start a walking moai at work, walking meetings can help you brainstorm. Safety specialist Ashley Carr at Sunsweet Growers, part of the Blue Zones Project Yuba Sutter Worksite program, shares. A lot of our groups, especially our leads, supervisors, and the managers, actually get out and connect on their walks, which allows them to talk about life, family, and have that community aspect while they're getting their steps in, walking, and challenging each other, having a moment to step away from our day to day tasks. Moai. This tradition is why Okinawan people live better longer. By Aisling Kotifani. Moai, Japan. Noun. 1. A group of lifelong friends. 2. A social support group that forms in order to provide varying support from social, financial, health, or spiritual interests. Elders in Okinawa, Japan, one of the original Blue Zone's longevity hotspots, live extraordinarily better and longer lives than almost anyone else in the world. Moai, one of their longevity traditions, are social support groups that start in childhood and extend into the 100s. The term originated hundreds of years ago as a means of a village's financial support system. Originally, Moais were formed to pool the resources of an entire village for projects or public works. If an individual needed capital to buy land or take care of an emergency, the only way was to pool money locally. Today, the idea has expanded to become more of a social support network, a cultural tradition for built in companionship. In small neighborhoods across Okinawa, friends meet for a common purpose, sometimes daily, and sometimes a couple days a week, to gossip, experience life, and to share advice and even financial assistance when needed. They call these groups their moai. Traditionally, groups of about 5 young children were paired together, and it's then that they made a commitment to each other for life. As their second family, they would meet regularly with their moai for both work and play and to pool resources. Some moais have lasted over 90 years. One of the women Dan Butner and Blue Zone's researchers had the pleasures of meeting in Okinawa was Klazuko Mana, who, at 77 years old, was the youngest of her moai. Collective age of the group was over 450. She stressed that it isn't just about gossip and chatter, it's deep support and respect for each other. Each member knows that her friends count on her as much as she counts on her friends. If you get sick, or a spouse dies, or if you run out of money, we know someone will step in and help. It's much easier to go through life knowing there is a safety net. Even today, about half of Okinawans participate in a moai, and many are in more than one. During his research and explorations on Okinawa, Dan Buettner spoke to dozens of Okinawan nonagenarians and centenarians about the role of Moai in their life. He spent time with Gozai Shinzata, who was still spry, energetic, and cooked and gardened daily at 104 years old. He describes her daily routine in the Blue Zone's solution. In the cool hours of the day, she worked in her gardens. At lunch, she mixed homemade miso into a saucepan of water. She spooned in fresh carrots, radishes, shiitake mushrooms, and tofu and let it heat. Meanwhile, she moved up and down the kitchen, wiping clean the counters, sink, and even the window. When it was ready, she poured her warmed soup into a bowl, gazed at it for a few moments, and murmured, Hara Hachi Bu. This Confucian adage, intoned like a prayer before every meal, reminded her to stop eating when she was 80% full. After lunch, she read comic books or watched a baseball game on television and napped. Neighbors stopped by every afternoon, and a couple of days a week, her moai, four women who, together with Shinzato, had at a young age committed to one another for life, stopped by for mugwort tea and conversation. Whenever things had gotten rough in Shinzato's life, when she'd run short of cash or when her husband had died 46 years ago, she counted on her moai and the Okinawan sense of social obligation, Yuimaru, to support her. Her friends had relied on a lifetime of Shinzato's support in return. It's much easier to go through life knowing there is a safety net. Professor Lisa Berkman of Harvard University is an expert in social connectedness and longevity. One of her studies looked into the connection between marital status, ties with friends and relatives, club membership, level of volunteerism, and greater longevity. The study found that the type of connection was irrelevant. Whether it was a spousal relationship or a tight knit friend group, all that mattered was the bond the group shared. Research shows that your social connections can have long term impact on your health and happiness. You mimic the habits of your three closest friends. If you share similar values, healthy habits, and life goals, then you're likely to 1. Experience less stress. Loneliness can decrease your life expectancy by 8 years. In Okinawa, members of a moai experience the stress shedding security of knowing that there is always someone there for them. 2. Be happier. With each happy friend you add to your network, you increase your happiness by 15%. Happiness is contagious. 3. Live longer. Older people without close friends are more likely to develop chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and depression than their counterparts. They're also at a higher risk for suffering from a stroke. Okinawan women, on average, live 8 years longer than American women. Their moai is likely an important component of their long lives. In all five Blue Zones cultures, social connectedness is ingrained into the culture. While Okinawans have moais, Sardinians meet with friends each evening for happy hours, and Adventists host weekly meals with their congregations. By finding the right tribe, you'll not only add years to your life, but you'll enjoy your time here just a little more. Thank you for listening to Why Walking Matters, the Science Explained. And hopefully you're encouraged to go out and start your own walking moai.